G'day folks, whether you meant to or not, you find yourself again on I Wonder Where That Goes. In part 7, why the hell did I choose a 125? To explain that, you need a little bit of history. After saving for 4 years solid, on my 16th birthday I bought a TS50 ER. On my 17th birthday I traded up to a TS100, which I fiddled with to such an extent that it went from 62 miles an hour top speed to 81 in just 4 months of ownership. My first big bike was a DT175MX, which was actually slower than the 100C. A Stan Stevens Stage 2 275cc overbore X7 followed that, which I managed to seize on the Thanet Way doing an indicated 180 kph. The lunacy continued with a Stan Stevens 350 power valve, which I managed to lob going up the hill to Ali Pali the first weekend I owned it, which was followed up by a similarly tuned 250LC, which blew up on the M11 on the way to the Lake District. I swapped the RD, logbook for logbook, for an XL250R on the bridge at night near Kew Gardens. I got shot of the XL Quick Smart and traded up to an XT350, which was a cracking bike, but as I'd just got myself a Dutch girlfriend, I spent most of the time on that bike howling up and down across Belgium to Maastricht, and it really wasn't made for that. So the XT made way for an intercontinental ballistic missile, otherwise known as a GPX-750 ER, 240 kph. Marvellous. Just the job to get me to Maastricht and back. Now living in the Netherlands, I flogged the GPX and then went overnight on the Eurolines bus to London, Crouch End Motorcycles, with £2,000 in my underpants, and bought myself my first TDM 850. I soon bought a companion for the TDM, an XR600R, which are hilariously cantankerous machines. I moved to Canada for a while, where I bought a 350LC for $400 Canadian, would you believe? While my old mate Jono was carefully lobbing my TDM into the scenery back in Europe. One final fling with high speed, 275 km/h VTR 1000, seen here in my front room in Haarlem. The TDM came with me when I emigrated to Oz, and spent 10 years languishing in the basement in Sydney before being sold before my return to Europe. Settling in France, I rediscovered the joy of motorcycling on an Aprilia Pegaso in shell suit colours, which was a great bike, except it was so juicy, extremely thirsty, and I just had to get rid of it. Back on Team Yamaha, I got myself a 660 Tenere, which was incredibly frugal on fuel, but drank almost as much oil as petrol. And thus, in 2018, I returned to my first true love and got a Mark 2.5 year 2000 TDM 850. Super tidy, super clean, a fantastic bike, and I've had it ever since. So you might be saying to yourself, what has all this old waffle got to do with the reason for buying an NX125? Well, obviously the first reason was it was cheap. Second reason, it was available. Third reason, I know from the bikes I've had previously that if I had anything bigger than maybe a 250, I'd kill myself on it. And I didn't really want to do that at this stage in the game. And Stevie has turned out to be robust, capable and plucky, and that's exactly what you need when you're doing trail riding on a budget. Go and subscribe, you bastard.